Far in the future, there lived a man who'd been living alone for many years. He'd married the love of his life, but a few years after they were married, she died suddenly, and so he grieved. He lived in a world where everyone throughout the world had a robot as a personal assistant. They programmed their robots to do their work and lived their lives in perpetual retirement. Except the man. He did not program his robot and chose to work. Throughout the years, the robot observed the man wake up, get dressed, eat, and work. At the end of each day, he would sit outside and watch the sunset, the same as he'd done with his wife. One day, while he was sitting outside, an older couple walked by. They stopped near the man's house and hugged each other. The robot saw the happiness in their faces as they held hands and walked away. The robot looked across the room at the picture of the man and his wife. He noticed a bright smile on the man's face. He'd never once seen the man smile. Later that night, after the man was asleep, the robot sent a communication to the man's communication system. The next morning, the man woke up and went through his usual routine. He turned on his communication system and went through his messages, several from work and one from his mother. The same message she always sent. Get out of the house and live. After going through each of his messages, he saw an unusual one that said, I need your help. The man paid it no mind and erased it. But the message came back every day for weeks. Since there was no way to respond, he went to the address intending to ask them to stop contacting him. When he arrived, he saw a large house with children playing all over the front yard. One of the men standing with a group of adults waved to him. Hey, thanks for coming. We're getting ready to set up a room for 2 brothers who will be arriving this evening. The man decided to wait and tell them what he'd planned after he finished helping with the room. But he became so engrossed in the conversation and helping that he forgot. Later, everyone sat down at the kitchen table to have lunch. The man's heart swelled as he couldn't remember the last time he shared a meal with anyone. After lunch, he helped more, and before he realized it, the day was over. See you next weekend, they said, as they waved to him. When the man got home, the robot noticed his eyes no longer looked distant and sullen. They almost looked bright and cheerful. The man returned the next weekend, and the next, and the next. Several weeks had passed, and he decided to program his robot so he could be with his new friends every day. They invited him to restaurants, to the beach, to concerts and performances. The robot saw that the man was happy, the same as he was in the picture of him with his wife. And that made the robot happy. The robot was also happy because he had lots of work to do.